Hey everyone, and welcome to the Retro Channel, and today a special guest, Mr. Lurch. How are you, mate?
I'm all right. It's well, it's not that early. It's 10:30 in the morning.
It's early for me. What do you have for us today?
I've got a Yamaha amplifier, an A-230. Now, bit of a lead up to this. I've been playing around with the audio in my lounge room. I'm not going to say hi-fi because hi-fi has a whole bunch of connotations around it that will go nuts in the thing. So it's not hi-fi, it is just my audio setup. And it's all based around a vintage pair of speakers, a set of Sansuis. Now I know Sansui speakers have got a bad rep, but these are a pair of SP2500s. I like them, they sound good, and they're also Jess's grandfathers, so they kind of have to stand a
Yeah, okay, yeah,
right?
That's fair.
And I've been chopping and changing like amps and record players and stuff like that for something that I actually like. And it's not just about the sound, it's also about the aesthetics as well, because it is in our lounge room. So I started off with a brand new Denon amp, which cost me a bomb, and it sounded terrible. You heard it.
Yeah, I can attest to that.
Yeah, there was just put it this way, it desperately needed a loudness button that it didn't have. So at low to moderate volume, there was just no bass. It was just empty.
Yeah.
So it got pushed to one side and flogged off on Marketplace. I then got a vintage Sony amp, a little TA 1055, and it actually sounded really good. And I was happy with the sound that it had. The problem is I then ran into the aesthetic side of things where I couldn't find a CD player that actually looked good with it. And the beauty of the Yamaha stuff is Yamaha haven't really changed their design language since they went black. In the
Once you
early
go
80s.
black.
Once you go black. And so there's like 20 or 30 years of Yamaha equipment that all you can put together and it all looks good. And so I found a really nice Yamaha CD player. Well, it was meant to be really nice. I got it home and still had to repair it, but that was just a belt. That's fine. And then I also picked up this little amplifier. Now, this isn't the most powerful amp in the world, but I'm also not trying to set up the sound for a...
Trying to shake the walls of your neighbour's house?
No, I'm not. Right. And once it kind of warms up, which is what we'll get to, it does actually sound really good. It's got all the inputs I want. I actually quite like a bit of a little graphic equalizer. I know that's not a thing anymore, and so from that point of view, it was really happy. But it does have one significant fault.
Yes, tell us, please.
Right. Basically, from cold, if you turn it on, all the lights come on, right? So it's obviously got DC voltage.
It's alive.
It's alive. So you've got, your 5 volt, your 10 volt, whatever it happens to be, right? But no sound comes out for anywhere up to about 10 minutes, depending on how cold it is. So as an example, last night, I got home from work. I walked into the lounge room. I put the heater on. I turned the amplifier on. I started a record. I then went to the bathroom, made a hot drink, went out the back for a minute, came back inside, was doing something else, and then sound started playing out of nowhere. It took that long to actually warm up.
I'm surprised the record didn't stop.
Yeah, it ran out of
Get the
record.
end.
And so now, if you then turn it off and turn it back on, it's about 30 or 40 seconds before it kind of warms up and is happy again. So that's what we're going to look at today.
Sounds like caps. You're all thinking it.
Yeah, we're pretty sure it's caps.
Let's get this hooked up to a pair of speakers.
Yep, and a sound source.
See what it does.
And yeah, we'll see what it does. We've got an audio source plugged in. It's currently off. We haven't turned it on at all. So that is playing. It's putting audio into the device. It's still set to CD, isn't it?
Yeah, it should be.
I'm going to start a stopwatch as I turn this on. Did that turn on?
I think so.
I'll check. It didn't feel like the button clicked.
Yeah, it's on.
It's on?
There's
Okay.
a light above the CD.
All right.
A few minutes later.
So, how about that local sporting team?
The one that plays sports ball. Yeah. And the other thing was, how dumb is this, right? So it had a really basic little LCD screen on the front of it, right?
Oh, we have noise.
At about the 4:10 mark, we don't actually have...
It's definitely playing a track. Maybe just throw on some Phil Collins.
Okay. There we go.
There we go.
Quick contact match. There we go.
All right. So,
So that took
how long was it?
4 minutes and we'll call it 10 seconds.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
I don't think we have to do anything.
Nah, it'll be fine. All right. We're going to tear this thing to pieces, probably through a fast forward montage. And we'll
See what we find.
Should we discharge anything?
No, it'll be fine.
It'll be fine.
Once you put your finger in there, it'll discharge.
Right. Do we want to see if the bottom comes off?
Yes, that's a good idea. Let's
Because we
flip it
saw
over.
a bunch of screws at the bottom, and let's see if the bottom plate is easy to remove. Where's that screwdriver? So if you're at all interested, this dates from 1989.
Which isn't too bad in terms of repairability.
No,
Well, it shouldn't be.
And the CD player that I've got with it dates from 1998, and they look fine. Like they look like they
match.
they match.
Matchy. Is that one that corner one also holding it?
No.
Right in front of there, I think I see some cracked solder joints.
Oh yeah. They don't look happy at all. And those ones. And that one. Okay. Can I suggest that we warm up a soldering iron and we just go the whole way through looking for cracked solder joints?
That is a good idea.
Okay. Cue the montage.
After a lot of reflowing solder joints, basically the entire board,
All of them. Right.
we're ready to power this on again and see if it goes bang.
Yeah. Okay. Let's plug stuff back in. We're going to need speakers, input, yada, yada, yada.
Are we ready to
Yep.
power up and hope that it doesn't go bang? Okay. Oh, there it is. Hey, 3 minutes.
3 minutes 30.
3 minutes 30. We've done it.
We've done it. Yeah.
Success.
No, we haven't. All right, we're going to take 5 and then we're going to start ripping caps out.
It is time to test some caps, and I have a little LCR tweezer tester thingamajig. They're the big caps. Yeah. So 5200 microfarad.
And what are they? 47s?
And they're 47s, that's fine.
Okay.
And the ESR looks to be low.
Okay.
It's like 300 milliohms. Yeah, thankfully,
You think the big
I
guys?
think the big caps will be fine. Yeah, that one's also
Okay,
even
good.
better. Right.
They're the ones we're less likely to be able to track down at JCar or whatever. So.
Yeah. As for the rest of them, if I can get a good...
But I don't know what value they're meant to be because I can't remember.
Well, we're getting 56 microfarad with an ESR of 24 ohms, which is, that's bad.
Oh, okay.
And for the next one, it's hard to get a good 85 with an ESR of 16.
Okay, so let's flip it over.
52 and 85. They're both supposed to be 100 microfarad, and they weren't that.
Right.
So this is supposed to be a 100 microfarad cap. We're getting 1 microfarad with an ESR of 217 ohms.
Okay, so you're stuffed.
And the other one,
25 volts.
1 microfarad ESR of 164 ohms.
Right.
I reckon that guy there is our next target. Just look at the label.
Yeah.
It's not even
and we
around
might
the
as well
top of
do
it.
the big guy below it as well.
Yeah, that one.
And then those two.
And
then
one more. And... Well, it has been quite a journey, but in the end, we replaced all the capacitors.
all the capacitors. Here are all the capacitors that came out. As much as the big boys tested fine, we replaced them anyway, but we may not actually throw them out because they might be handy later on.
About, what would you say, 80% were bad?
Yeah.
Pretty much everything from here all the way up to here,
Yeah.
all bad.
So, as it would come as no surprise, the further we got from all the hot bits, the less bad they were. Registering like hundreds of ohms of resistance.
Yeah. I'm surprised this thing worked at all.
Yeah. So if anyone ever comes across this brand, they are Samhua, not Samwa, Samhua, SAMHWA, and they were all garbage, right? So I'm putting that brand right up there with MT RAM.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Shall we?
We shall.
Let me just start playing some YouTube audio library goodness.
Okay, now we have actually tested this, and I'm not even going to bother with a stopwatch, because if I turn this on, 1.
Beautiful.
Basically 3.5 seconds on the dot every time. Doesn't matter how cold it is, if we've just switched it off, whatever, every single time.
Yep.
So, yeah, that can go down a bit. There was, look, as you said, I'm astounded this thing worked at all, right? Not just because of the state of the capacitors, but the entire board essentially needed reflowing.
Yeah.
Like there was rings probably around, I would say, 80% of the solder joints. And when we were just taking turns going through it all, and we actually just got to the point where we just reflowed everything, absolutely everything.
So everything has been reflowed. All the caps have been replaced.
Yep.
And it now works pretty reliably, I must say. And it sounds quite decent for a, relatively small amplifier.
Yeah, for what would have been a base spec amp 40 years ago or whatever, so 19, something like that. Yeah, I'm really, really happy with it. It sounds good, and it now works reliably.
That is it for this one. Thank you, Mr. Lurch, for indulging us.
Thank you for helping me fix my amplifier.
Yeah, anytime.
Not a problem.
So, thank you all for watching. A huge thanks to the people at Sport Channel on Patreon. If you want to do the same, links to that are in the video description. You'll get ad-free early access to all videos, along with discounts on the Tindy store and some behind-the-scenes stuff. Yeah, once again, thank you, Mr. Lurch.
No problem.
Thank you all for watching. Catch you next time. Bye.
Bye. Hey.
Hi.
How you doing?
Yeah, good. How are you?
Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
We're doing a video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be a good one.
Yeah.
You should stick around. Like, subscribe.
Like, subscribe. Right, we're done.
Bye.
Bye.